What if many of the ideas you believe are yours are not really yours at all? What if your tastes, your opinions, even your fears have been shaped slowly without you even noticing? Not by a single person, but by systems, institutions, and invisible currents operating in silence. In the heart of London, after the echoes of two world wars, an institution was born dedicated to understanding the human mind, the Tavistock Institute, a research center that began by studying trauma, soldier behavior, and group dynamics, but that gradually opened the door to something far more unsettling, understanding not only how we think, but how our thinking can be influenced. Inspired by social psychology, their work focused on a powerful idea that individuals rarely act alone, that the group shapes perception, that the crowd does not think like the individual, that collective emotion can spread like an invisible current, transforming entire behaviors without direct force. From this emerges a key concept: social engineering, not originally as a conspiracy, but as a method to shape environments. Because if you change the environment around a person, you change how they behave without them ever feeling controlled. Over time, these ideas moved beyond theory into workplaces, media, politics, advertising. And this is where the line begins to blur, because understanding the human mind also means having the power to influence it. Some believe this knowledge did not remain academic, that it spread into real-world systems, into narratives, into culture, into the way identities are formed, raising a disturbing possibility that certain trends, fears, and social movements may not be entirely spontaneous, but amplified or guided. At this point, we enter the world of think tanks, institutions that do not govern, but influence those who do, places where behavior is studied. Strategies are designed, and ideas are shaped before they reach society, forming what could be described as an invisible architecture of thought. And so the question emerges: who influences the influencers? Who decides which ideas rise and which disappear? And how aware are we of this process? Philosophy has asked this for centuries, from Plato, who spoke of shadows mistaken for reality, to Foucault, who described a form of power that does not need to be seen because it becomes part of the system itself, a power that does not force, but guides, that does not repress, but shapes, that does not feel like control, but like normality. Perhaps the most effective form of influence is not telling someone what to think, but creating an environment where they arrive at the conclusion on their own. And in that sense, the real question is not whether there is a global conspiracy controlling everything, because there is no clear evidence of that, but something far more subtle and far more real: that knowledge about human behavior exists, that it is studied, applied, and capable of shaping how we see the world. In an age of constant information, where emotions spread instantly and narratives compete for attention, understanding how influence works may be one of the last forms of freedom, because perhaps the greatest power is not controlling others, but recognizing when someone is trying to influence you without you even noticing. If you enjoy this kind of content, where psychology, philosophy, and mystery collide, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and join us in the next videos.